Hey guys, it's Dan, your host of Dan's Reviews, and today we're back with another Let's Chitchat video for today. We're going to talk about Fear the Walking Dead and the final season, the final 6 episodes, and do we think it's going to have a faithful conclusion? And we're also going to do some universe updates for The Walking Dead. Alright guys, this one's going to be doing another video today, this one's going to be doing another video for the Walking Dead universe, and another Let's Chit Chat video for today. We're going to go through some Fear the Walking Dead stuff, we're also going to talk about some Walking Dead universe updates, and all that kind of stuff. So, hope you guys have had a good week. This has definitely been a more quiet week, I would say, for the Walking Dead universe, because we had a lot of, pretty insane weeks for Walking Dead there in the past, few before this. We had the Dead City finale, we had Comic-Con with all of that crazy news, the Daryl trailer, the Rick and Michonne teaser, and all that stuff. And this week, I'd say for Walking Dead, the biggest thing I think we've really had necessarily is finding out that The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live, is going to be airing in February. Now, we don't know exactly when that's going to be releasing in February. All we know is that it's in February. We just don't know, when in that month. I know a lot of people are predicting like a Valentine's Day type of release, which unfortunately that would mean that it would be on a Wednesday. So maybe AMC Plus will release it early on Wednesday. Maybe they will release the Rick and Michonne first episode on Valentine's Day. That definitely could be it. But in terms of the overall kind of the news and everything I thought about it, I thought it was really good. I'm excited that we at least have some sort of an idea of when it's supposed to be releasing, not specifically, but at least around the time. And yeah, I think that was definitely the biggest piece of news for Walking Dead. But besides that, we really didn't have all that much. We had like a few teasers for the Daryl show, which we went over yesterday. I'd say Dead City is relatively quiet now, and I'm expecting it to be now for a little while. We did do a review for the overall season of Dead City this week. We also did a top 5 best characters of this season. And we also did a video where we discussed how we think The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live, will come to a conclusion. And we went over your fan theories and your thoughts on that. So that's probably my personal favorite video from this week that we did, just because you guys really chipped in and really did a great job with all your theories and all that stuff. So that was definitely my favorite one to make this week. But now going into this week, I have a few videos I want to get done. One of the main ones that I was thinking about doing is a death predictions for the final 6 episodes of Fear the Walking Dead. That's right. So if you're wondering if the Fear the Walking Dead content is going to be coming back now that the show is on its way back here pretty soon, yes, the Fear the Walking Dead content I'm going to start including more again, because I've been kind of silent on Fear the Walking Dead for the last, couple weeks to a month, just because we've had Dead City, we've had Daryl show announcements and all that stuff, Ones Who Live and all that, but I am going to try to give Fear the Walking Dead a little bit more time here this week. So we're going to do a video. I forget who suggested it, I'm going to have to check back and see, but somebody wanted me to go ahead and do a death predictions for the final 6 episodes of Fear the Walking Dead. So that would be our final ever death predictions for the series. So we're going to do that this week, definitely. We're going to go through all the characters and give our thoughts, so expect that. And one of the other main things I wanted to discuss about is the ending of the show and whether or not we think it's going to be a faithful conclusion. So what are we talking about when we say faithful conclusion? Well, is the show going to end in the way it deserves to end, right? That's the real question. Because, with the original Walking Dead ending last year, I would say that the original Walking Dead ended mostly how it was supposed to end. I think that Rick definitely should have been back home. I still feel like they should have had some sort of way to where that would have made sense. But for the most part, I think that The Walking Dead ended in a way that made sense for the story. It felt like it was a real conclusion, and it was faithful to what The Walking Dead was about. Now, with Fear the Walking Dead, sadly, we've dealt with a lot of, keeping up to the faithful adaptation of Dave Erickson, right? Unfortunately, we've really kind of gone off the deep end, I'd say, on what he wanted the show to be. So that's why I really asked this question. Is this going to be something, some sort of an ending that Dave Erickson would have enjoyed? And I'm here to give you guys the unfortunate answer. I think a lot of people could agree with me on this one, that no, it's not going to be a faithful conclusion to Fear the Walking Dead. I'm going to say it, and hey, look, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But here's what I think they're going to do. The faithful conclusion for Fear the Walking Dead, if we were really living in an imaginary land, it would have been that in the final season, Madison turns evil. She eventually loses her mind. She eventually, kills Alicia, which was the original intent of the story, when Dave Erickson was in charge. And Nick would have to kill his mother at the end of the series, and it would be basically like a Walter White type of story where you're following a bad guy throughout the entire series. That was the original intent for Fear the Walking Dead. At least based off of what I heard over the years. And I think that would have been really good. If they executed the story right, they absolutely could have done that. But now, how do I actually think they're going to do it? And this is why I don't think it's going to be faithful. They're resurrecting a character from season 3 to get views, first of all. That's the only reason why they're bringing Troy Otto back. I know some people say, like, oh, they're bringing Troy in so that it feels like a faithful conclusion. No, it's not because it feels like a faithful conclusion. It's because they don't know what the hell to do, and they want to make sure that they get those ratings in for the final few episodes. Now, one of the only things I can say is faithful about what I'm seeing about the final episode so far is Madison leading the show. That is a very important aspect. She started the show. She led the show. She should end the show. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if they resurrected Madison too, which, yeah, they definitely did. But at the same time, at least she's back and at least she's leading the show. Now, you want to know why this is not going to feel like a faithful adaptation? Is because we're not going to have anything to do with Alicia, and if we do, it'll be her stupid bone hand, which is really ridiculous. I do not envision Alicia returning to the main series. I just don't. And Nick has been dead now for a long, long time, so you're not going to have the heart of the show. You're not going to have the full Clark family. You're just going to have Madison and her puffer, So, it's not exactly a faithful conclusion, right? And not to mention, it looks like Strand is just like a good guy, you know what I mean? He's just like a nice guy. Apparently, from what I've heard, he is just going to be a very peaceful, nice, type dude, making up for what he did type of crap, which is not Victor Strand. It's definitely not Victor Strand. Victor Strand is not a nice guy. He's a very cowardly, in it for himself type of moron that probably at this point would have fully turned evil, you know what I mean? And they tried to make him turn evil. It failed miserably, and now they're trying to go back on it, you know what I mean? And it's not exactly going so well. It's they're turning him into what it appears to be, at least, a very generic nice guy, you know what I mean? So we'll have to see what they adapt him like in this one. Daniel, I would say, is mostly where I would expect him to be if he survived, the original Dave Erickson Fear the Walking Dead. Leading an army of people, being a badass leader and stuff like that. I really actually enjoy Daniel in season 8, so I'd say that is a faithful aspect to this conclusion. But, another reason why I don't think this is going to be a faithful conclusion to Fear the Walking Dead, and this has nothing against, Dwight and Sherry. I love Dwight and Sherry, but the Sanctuary and Dwight and his story with Sherry, that is not Fear the Walking Dead. That is main Walking Dead content, you know what I mean? Which for the ending of Fear the Walking Dead, that's a little bit of a problem, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. That right there definitely is not a faithful conclusion to what Fear the Walking Dead is about. That is a faithful conclusion to The Walking Dead, which Dwight and Sherry should have had an episode like that in the main Walking Dead. You know what I mean? And same thing with Morgan, going back to King County and stuff in the first half, that should have been in the main Walking Dead. That should have all been in the main series, because that would have been amazing plots for them to include in season 11, but they didn't do that, So, I guess what I'm going to say about this, to kind of answer the question, I don't think this is a faithful conclusion. I don't think it will be a faithful conclusion. I think this is going to be the best of what they can do at the last minute. I really think so. I think Madison will be the lead. That'll be all fine and dandy. She's not going to be written like she was supposed to be written by Dave Erickson. And we're not going to have all the characters that we're supposed to have in the story. We're not going to have the Victor Strand that's supposed to be all, screwed up and in it for himself. I mean, maybe they'll pull a twist. That could happen, but I really think that Victor at this point, I love Coleman. I do love the Victor Strand character, but they gotta stop, because they're really starting to butcher his character. So they gotta, find a way to where they can end his character in a good way. Daniel, I have no complaints about in season 8. I think they're bringing him down to a pretty good conclusion. Hopefully they don't mess it up. And I think Troy Otto, I don't see them giving him a faithful conclusion. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. I don't see it. So this is kind of where I stand. I don't think this is a faithful conclusion. I don't think it's going to be a faithful conclusion like the original Walking Dead did, with all the, amazing callbacks and all the amazing stuff they did there. I think it'll feel like Dave Erickson Fear at minor times, but I don't think it's going to be a faithful conclusion where it's like it ends exactly how it should end. No, I don't think so. Not to mention, I think they're going to honestly set up for a lot of these characters going to spin-offs by the time the show comes to a conclusion, which is a gripe I had with the main Walking Dead as well, but at least The Walking Dead ended in a way where it felt faithful to what the Walking Dead, what the Walking Dead was about. This I don't feel like is going to do that. I feel like Madison will be in charge, yeah. But aside from that, you're resurrecting a character to get views. You're, doing this Dwight and Sherry episode, which again, Dwight and Sherry, that's fine. But it's not main Walking, or it's not Fear the Walking Dead. It's main Walking Dead. You know what I mean? So a lot of this stuff is not faithful to Fear the Walking Dead, if you catch my drift. It's more, either Walking Dead stuff, or it's just, Ian and Andrew doing what they can to get views, kind of, cookie cutter stuff, come to a conclusion, and then, just be done with it. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I feel like it's going to go. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you disagree? Do you think that's going to be a good ending? Do you think it's going to be a faithful ending? Although good ending and faithful ending are two different things. We could have a good ending, but it's not faithful to what Fear the Walking Dead is. So that is something to keep in mind as well, too. Those are definitely two different things. I could see Fear having a good ending if they play their cards right. Could it be a faithful ending, though? No. I'm going to say it right now. It's not going to be a faithful ending. So anyway, if you're new to the channel, guys, and you enjoyed this video, make sure to click the subscribe button so you don't miss any other videos for Fear of the Walking Dead. Be sure to follow me on Dan's The Walking Dead reviews on Instagram, guys. And of course, I'll see you guys very soon for more videos for Let's Chit Chat. We're going to do a lot more Walking Dead videos this week, so stay tuned. Enjoy the rest of the day, guys, and peace out.